Nobody will ever say to the American people, hey, listen, you don't like your tax rates? Make more money. Be more valuable to the economy. You won't have to worry about it.
Exactly.
Nobody says that. Because politics is about taking common problems and giving people someone else to blame for them. Sometimes rightly, sometimes wrongly. Let me ask you something. How comfortable do you think you would be? You're not 25. You got a lot of energy and gas in the tank. But do you really want to be a part of what it takes to succeed in politics in America today?
I don't know. I would tell you that once upon a time it was emphatically no. That has quelled to some degree. I would tell you that I'm living a very, very good life. I like the money I've earned. I've earned it. I want to keep on earning it, and I'm not interested in interrupting my quality of life. But when people talk to you about the difference that you could possibly make, and then I think about the friends that I have made along the way and the level of guidance that I can receive from the people that I know who I'm confident can assist in making a difference for the betterment of this country, it is something I entertain. I believe I'm talking to two of those people right now. I can sincerely doubt I will ever be an elected official because, again, I ain't trying to give up my money. But I tell you something right now. If I was fortunate and blessed enough to be in the presidency, you think I'm not going to call Bill O'Reilly and listen to him? You think I'm not going to call Chris Cuomo and listen to him? I pick up the phone day or night. And I want to say this on national TV to everybody. There isn't a time that I picked up the phone to call either one of y'all about something that I didn't know and something that I needed to be educated about that you guys didn't help me on. You're not the only ones, but the point is you always do it. And I'm appreciative of that from the bottom of my heart because I like to learn. I like to get smarter. I like to educate myself, but I believe that when I'm blessed with knowledge, I have the ability to articulate myself and reach an audience like few others. And if you ever put me on that debate stage with some of these politicians aspiring for higher office, with the nonsense that they've engaged in, with the behavior they've exercised, with the tendencies that they've displayed, and the lack of consideration to the American people going up against me, good luck. I would give anything to be on a debate stage with them, just to show them, listen, we should be listening to people on both sides. Anybody that has America's best interest at heart is who we should care to listen to. I would be that guy. That's the reason why I leave the door open and entertain it, even though I sincerely doubt I will ever be willing to give up my money to run for office.
Well, as Stephen A's spokesperson, I'll take that job too. That's 3. You wouldn't have to call me. I'll be right there. And I think you should run. And I'm being serious now. And Trump opened the door for you. You should send Trump a big bouquet of flowers. He opened the door for you.
He'd help you more if he
Now,
gets you arrested.
Candidates.
He'd help you more if he gets you arrested.
Absolutely.
Trump needs to give me an interview. That's what Trump needs to do. He needs to give me an interview. But go ahead.
Well, as your press secretary, I'll work on that for you. But you can run. But don't have any expectation of winning. See, what you're doing is you're taking a furlough from your dopey sports show, and you're saying, I'll be back because I'm not going to win. But you're injecting yourself into the debate, the national debate, and you're exposing the charlatans, which would be an amazing historical achievement. You don't have to win. You can go back to the dopey show anytime. They don't have anybody to replace you.
That's twice.
I don't even know who these people are.
Bill O'Reilly.
That's twice.
Bill O'Reilly.
Bill O'Reilly.
Hold on, Chris. Dopey show. That dopey show, come April, will have been #1 for 14 consecutive years in the morning.
And
Let's
you
make
deserve
sure we get that.
But that doesn't
But
mean it isn't dopey. It's on at 5 a.m. in the morning.
It's not on 5 a.m. It's on at 10 o'clock. It's 10 to 12 noon. It's 10 to 12 noon, Bill O'Reilly, and you watch it. Stop it. But here's the deal. One thing I want to say this most importantly. Bill, you have to know this about me. You have to know this about me. And at this part, I mean seriously. Bill, I don't play to lose. If I decide to run, it's because I intend to win.
That's what
it ain't to make noise and just to expose the charlatans. It's to win. And if I decide to do it, I'm telling you, I intend to win. Make no mistake about it. I won't do it unless I believe I have a legitimate shot to win it, the presidency.
All right, and that sounds
know that
very
about
good.
me.
But if you don't win, it's still a win. And as your vice president, I'll do everything I can to try to ensure you win.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.